Hi, God bless you. This is Faith or Fear Talk, and it's a new week with a new reflection, a new theme. And actually, this week, I have to tell you, I had to pre record. So, this is a pre record video, and I'm just letting you know ahead of time because I have a busy week ahead. So, I had to pre record my videos. But I want you to know that I know it's going to make this week's reflection is going to just be an eye opener, and it's just going to make you react and look at faith and intercession in a different way. So this week's reflection is called When Faith and Intercession Collides. When faith and intercession collides, and I'm going to try to stick to my notes so I do not miss anything because I want to share everything that impacted me with you. But I'm going to read first from the book of Psalms, chapter 27, verse 7 through 8. Lord, hear my voice when I call. Be gracious to me and answer me. My heart says to my heart says this about you. Seek his face. Lord, I will seek your face. I also want to read Psalms 145, verse 18 through 19. The Lord is near all who call out to him. He is near to all who call out to him. All who call out to him with integrity. He fulfills the desire of those who fear him. He hears their cry for help and saves them. Which means that the Lord will respond. So when we seek his face, when we call out to him, that is a promise from the word of God. But what happens if I just have some faith? When I just have faith, when I do not combine my faith with intercession, because it says also, I will be near to those who call out to him. It talks about he's giving us these promises, but at the same time, he's indicating to us that we need to call out, that we need to seek his face. So that is why this week's reflection is when faith and intercession collides. There should be and come a moment in every believer's life that faith and intercession meets and heaven responds. Faith and intercession meets and heaven responds. Faith believes that God can and will move. Intercession pleads for him to move and to move on my behalf and on the behalf of others. It's very possible to have one and not the other, of course. I can say I have all the faith in the world and not do one single prayer. And prayer is a conversation, a communication with God, where you express your gratitude, where you worship him, where you present to him your petitions in prayer. Intercession goes beyond. Intercession is deep calling into the deep. Intercession is seeking his face. Intercession is weeping and crying and groaning in the spirit, calling out to him on behalf of not just only ourselves, but for the nation, for others, for many things. When faith and intercession collides, heaven must respond. And it's possible this is why some of our prayers responses are on delay. There's very many reasons why God would delay a response, right? Because it also says that God grants us the desires of our heart. But if we living a life of integrity, if we are serving him in spirit and in truth, and if what we are asking him is in his will, in his plan for our lives, because let's be for real, a lot of times we're asking God for things because it just looks good, feels good, and we want it. But the Lord, who sees and holds our future in his hand, knows if it is a fit for us, if it's going to be a true blessing for us as we see it, right? So if it's your will, God. And sometimes we delay, our prayers are delayed because there's too much prayer and not faith, or too much faith and not prayer. But what happens when faith and intercession collides? It says heaven will respond. And I declare that. I decree it. Heaven needs to respond if my faith and intercession collides. It is possible to have one or the other, but what it would be, how powerful it would be to have that combination. When two collide, what happens? Miracles are birthed. Miracles are birthed when faith and intercession collide. Breakthroughs are released when faith and intercession collides. And divine intercession becomes reality inevitable. It comes reality. Divine intercession. Faith says, I trust you, God. Faith says, I trust you, God. But intercession says, do it again, Lord. Not just for me, but do it for someone else as well. That is faith and intercession combining itself. When faith stands in the gap of intercession, right? Because you're doing intercession and you're standing in the gap for a nation, for your leaders, for your family, for someone else. And you also have your faith activated. When that faith stands in the gap of intercession, it refuses to let go until heaven touches earth. I'm telling you, when that faith stands in the gap of the intercession, it will refuse to let go until heaven touches earth. Until that yes comes or that no comes, that respond will come. It was like Jacob when he fought with the angel, right? And we're going to be reading that after the midnight hours. Also, the midnight hours also will be pre-recorded this week. Jacob refused to let go until he received a blessing. And when the man dislocated the angel, right? They refer him as the angel or God. You know, there's a lot of people say it was God himself. It was an angel. But when he refused to let go, even his hip was dislocated. But Jacob held on. Jacob held on. That should be our faith and intercession. It should hold on so tight. Grip on so tight and hold on until heaven responds. We see Abraham's faith met his intercession when he pleaded for Sodom. I'm going to just touch real quickly as a sample, and we're going to go deeper into them during this week. Moses' faith met his intercession when he stood before God for Israel. Each time faith and intercession collided, God shifted the story. God shifted the story. Hannah's faith met her intercession when she wept for a son. Are you ready for a shift to happen in your prayer life? Are you ready for a shift to happen in your faith? Are you ready for a shift to happen in your intercession? When faith and intercession collides, there is a shifting. There is a shifting, and be for sure that God will be shifting the story. Are you ready for that shift? This collision is not passive. The collision of faith and intercession is not going to be a quiet one. It's not going to be a passive one. It's going to be persistent. Because once you taste it and see that it is good, once you've done it and see that heaven responds, once you've gotten accustomed to combine your faith and intercession, you're not going to let it go. You're not going to let it go. You're going to be like Jacob. You're going to hold on to it because you're going to see and taste that it is good and it works. It works. This happens when a believer stands between the promise and the problem. When you declare, I will not move until you move, God. Do you know that you can say that? Do you know that your intercession and your faith combined can say, God, I will not move until you say to move. Until you move or you tell me to move. The problem nowadays is that we give up too quickly. The problem nowadays is that we give up too quickly. Our faith, we hang it up like it's boxing gloves. And our intercession, we put it away on a shelf like it's some book. No. Your faith and intercession combined, it's going to produce what? Patience. Patience for you to be still and know that He is God, and you will wait on the response. You will fight like Jacob, and doesn't matter if your hip gets dislocated, you will wait until the blessing comes. I see you tonight after the midnight hour.